acting like you at your mama house, calling that girl you met at summer camp 2 states away, and your mama screaming out,
I know you better not be talking long distance running up my bill with that little hussy girl.
Well, get with the times with your long-distance charges. Presenting Univon. Univon offers unlimited worldwide calling to 60-plus countries for $14.99 a month. No contract, no activation fee, and no cancellation fee. Users can call anytime using their mobile phone or home IP phone. So stop flushing money down the drain. Get more details by clicking Univon's link banner on thedougsstewartshow.com or the link on the DougStewartShow.com app. Try out Univon and call your peoples like you not at your mama house. All right, I know the deal. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right, billions with a B. Well, just do it, and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one source, a Facebook shopping application, a mobile-optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on the link on the DougStewartShow.com or the app link for details. The Doug Stewart Show is off and running, but just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk show personalities in America? By the way, that's me. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty. People know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at you both. Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Yes!
His sports talk is bigger than Robin Newhouse's thighs. Doug Stewart.
That's right, this is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining your boy. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate the love. I cannot even explain to you. Yesterday, I put out this post where I asked people on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram to pass the word about the show. Basically, retweet the show or retweet the post, share the post, tag themselves in it. And I got like 60 people shared it and like 40 or 50 people tagged themselves. It was just a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. And this is to you. Thank you very much for the love. I appreciate it. Once again, I used to say it a lot in the last couple of years of the show. The Stews' names ring out in them streets. That's a quote from the great The Wire. And they used to say that all the time. Your name gonna ring out. Your name gonna ring out. And our name rings out in them streets for sure. People really respect the fact that what we did over a decade, actually almost 12 years and 5 years on ESPN, on ESPN's First Take, battling my boy Skip Bayless on the puppet factory, I call it sometimes, ESPN. But First Take and all the different mediums that we are involved in. So a lot of people really respect what we did. So thank you very much. I can't say it enough. Thank you very much. Now, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. I'm still waiting for the first caller to give me a call and talk about these sports and give me your ballers and your busters, as well as I got a surprise for you if you do. I got a surprise for you for my very first caller to the show. All right, 404-382-0338. But when I went to the break, I was telling you why, and this is something that's really, really, really been on my mind over the last couple of days since Roger Goodell had his press conference, basically coming out of his hole, talking about all the things going on in the world of the NFL, all the issues with Ray McDonald and Greg Hardy and Adrian Peterson and Ray Rice and all of that stuff. And here's the thing. I think people are trying to find a reason to give Roger Goodell a pass. And I have a real issue with that, and not for just the reasons that everybody can acknowledge and understand. And Derek Mason talked about it, that, you know, you need to have some responsibility taken. okay? And Roger Goodell is this disciplinarian commissioner, and he comes down hard, and he's tough-minded, and guys have really paid the penalty for things that they've done in the NFL under his leadership. So the question is, he always puts it out there that ignorance is not an excuse. And Derek Mason talked about that, former wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. And I think a lot of people have talked about that. But then you ask yourself, you go a little bit further, and you say to yourself, well, is that a fireable offense? Should the owners fire him? First of all, the owners don't have a problem with him. The owners paid this guy $44 million a couple of years ago. So the owners like what he's doing. I don't know if the owners or how much involvement they had with some of the decisions that were made over the last couple of weeks as far as disciplining guys and suspending guys. But the owners, okay, the owners are paying this guy because he's their guy. He works for them. It's as simple as that. But the question continues to come up. Is ignorance an excuse? And it's not an excuse, but the real reason that Roger Goodell should probably be fired is because he has lost institutional control. And if you follow sports, you've heard that term thrown around a lot. You've heard people talk about institutional control. Bottom line is this: he may not have heard or seen the videotapes of Ray Rice knocking out his girlfriend Janae in the locker room, in the elevator. That's not the point. The point is everything's so run amok right now that he's the face of it. And somebody's got to take responsibility for it. Somebody's got to be the face of that. And I think that Roger Goodell is that guy, and there's really a question on whether he knew what was going on or not. There's a question on what he knew and what he didn't. But the bottom line is this: ignorance is not an excuse. Okay? And you know me, if you listen to the show, probably 4 or 5 years, I've been calling this cat Dictator Roger Goodell. I have been. Because he's so heavy-handed and he's made so many rules changes to the detriment of the game, I believe, in a lot of cases. I saw so many bootleg penalty flags thrown yesterday. You can't touch a damn quarterback. So he has to own that. But the point is whether you can prove whether he saw a videotape or not, whether you can prove that he had more knowledge of all these cases and he boggled them and handled them incorrectly. The point is he's the face of it. When you throw out that term, lack of institutional control, to college kids, to professional athletes, why doesn't it fall on him? That's the point. And it seems like all his heavy-handedness over the last couple of years is being ignored right now. And the owners love him. The NFL is at an all-time high in making money. So they're not mad. They're fine with everything. Okay? But bottom line is, when your sponsors, and to their credit, a lot of their sponsors haven't pulled out yet. Really, no one's really pulled out. There's been some harsh words made, some statements from some companies saying, listen, you guys need to get your act together or we're going to be out of this piece. But they have stuck with them. You know why? It's not because of Roger Goodell. It's because the NFL is a machine. That's why. The NFL is a machine. And so I just think that he has to own this entire thing. And now, don't get me wrong. A lot of this is just crazy coincidence. You've had all these things going down at the same time over the last couple of weeks, which is unprecedented. It's clearly unprecedented. But he's boggled some things. He's misstepped in a couple of different ways. And I think that he is the face of it. And I think him being a man with action, and he's always heavy-handed, a man with action, I think he has to fall on the sword. Let me get your thoughts on that. 404-382-0338. Also getting your ballers and your busters. This is the first episode of the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, man, it feels good. It almost feels like I'm back on terrestrial radio, but guess what? I got a bigger scope here. Not only can I talk to my people in ATL, a lot of the focus is going to be on Atlanta sports, obviously, because I live here. But we were syndicated all over the country. We were in LA, we were in Vegas, we were in Detroit, we were in Miami, we were in Memphis. Memphis was a big market for us. So pass the word. I need you to tell anybody you know that love the Stews, pass the word, okay? Pass the word. Let them know that I am here, that I'm back from 11 to 1 Eastern time, Monday through Friday. And we're going to let you have that real sports talk. Let's go ahead and grab a call. Right now, let's talk to, who do we got? We got Jason. Jason, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show, Jason. Jason, what you got?
What's up, Doug? Good to hear you back on the air, my man.
Man, I appreciate it, Jason.
Yeah, man. So my baller for one is your boy Peyton, man. I'm the first one to call him noodle arm and all that after, coming back from the surgeries and whatnot. But that 52-second drive that he put in the fourth quarter in Seattle against the 12th man was just, he got to give him a baller award for that.
You got to give him a baller award. Let me say something about that, man. And basically, I think that the Denver Broncos have closed the gap in about 6 months. They got their ass whooped, obviously, in the Super Bowl. Seattle still found a way to win this game. But guess what? I think the defensive players that they added, DeMarcus Ware, and those guys, a couple other guys, the safety from New England that came over, I think that they closed the gap tremendously. Now, it was a home game for Denver, so still you think that Seattle's the better team, but I think they definitely closed the gap, man, with some of the moves they made in the offseason. What else you got?
I got one more baller in the Buster. The other baller, man, side eye, but your boy who leaked them pictures on Twitter, man.
Who?
Of Megan Good, Rihanna, Gabrielle Union. We'll talk about that a little later.
Okay, see, you gonna make me go and start Googling right now, man. And I'm on my.
Ooh, my bad.
You gonna make me start Googling right now, but definitely I appreciate it. What else you got?
Yeah. But my Buster award, which again I guess is gonna go either way, is that cheap shot on Nick Foles, yo. I understand the crackback block. It's a football play, but that was kind of dirty. I mean, it caused the brawl, and the guy stood up for Nick Foles. That was in that Redskins Eagles game. That was
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of borderline, and it was a football play. Really, 10 years ago, that wouldn't have even been reviewed again. They wouldn't even have taken another look at that. But that's kind of what I was talking about a little bit earlier, man, is the NFL right now is just so different. It's just so different, and it's just so lame, okay? He's a football player, so basically what the NFL is saying is a quarterback getting a football player. He's separate. There's like 10 other players on that team, and then there's the quarterback. And I don't know if I like that, man. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, well good luck with the show, and see you next time.
Hey, Jason, I really need you to pass the word, brother. Thank you so much for calling, all right?
All right, no problem.
And that's my man Jason right there. He's actually the first caller to the show, and Jason, I got a bucket of pride for you. That's what I got for you. A bucket of pride and a bucket of thanks. Thank you very much, man, for calling the show. The number is 404-382-0338. And I really do mean that. It seems like Denver kind of closed the gap. It wasn't, and part of it was because they had Mile High fans behind them and rooting them on. It wasn't a neutral place, game like the Super Bowl is. And I think Seattle's still probably the better team, and obviously they won the game yesterday. But I got, and I said this before, I don't know if you even follow me on Twitter or Facebook, I've already put my prognostication out there for who I think is going to make it to the Super Bowl. And I got the Denver Broncos taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Now, San Francisco is not looking like it now. They actually had a loss yesterday against the Arizona Cardinals. Tough loss. Really came down to the end. Arizona's a better team than a lot of people are giving them credit for. My whole thing with San Francisco is I just think that at some point things are going to fall in place. And if you know anything about the NFL, it's not even about what you do early. It's can you hang on? They've got a lot of injuries. They're going to have guys suspended. I think by the time week 10 rolls around, I think San Francisco will be okay. I think they'll be ready to roll, and I think that they'll be a team to be reckoned with. They've got a great receiving core and Crabtree. My little cousin Bruce Ellington's out there. They've got fantastic players, okay? They've got a fantastic quarterback who's been struggling early this year. But I like what the 49ers have. They've obviously gone deep into the playoffs over the last couple of years. It's kind of making me pause a little bit early this year, but I'm still going to go with the 49ers pick. Actually, that's my pick, and the way we did it, we never changed our pick, so we'll see what happens. Right now, joining the Doug Stewart Show is my man BP. BP, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What you got? Yo, BP. BP. Okay, we don't have BP. We'll grab another call. That's the type of thing we're going to have to work out on the show. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show.